Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Wraith, and today I'm just going to do a quick little tier list for you because I fancied it and it'll be cool to see if people agree with me. Of course, straight off the bat, this is my opinion, okay? Alright, what I like using. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below, of course, and obviously put a reason why. Don't be like, I don't know, Shaman should be S tier, not whatever I put him as, because he should, you know. Just give me some context to why. So, I plan to do all the factions with this, because I think it'd be quite nice. And without further ado, let's start with the obvious. So, Witch King of Angmar. Witch King of Angmar, I'm going to just put him right, you know, right there. S tier, S tier. I absolutely love the Witch King of Angmar. He is fantastic, okay? Not only can you make him a pretty killy fighter with the Crown of Morgul on Fellbeast, that's pretty much as killy as you can get him, but he's a solid spellcaster, get up to like 20 will, and has a lot of offensive spells that can mess around with your opponents, either doing direct damage or repositioning them or turn them into a drooling mess. So yeah, Witch King S tier. Get that out of the way, nice and easy. He's a hero of legend, so he will be your army leader if you bring him. Downside to him, of course, is he's only got that pesky one wound. And if you do spend 50 points on a Fellbeast, I'm not even mentioning Armoured Fellbeast, because I don't think it's worth the extra, 20 points? So, just Fellbeast. If he does get knocked off it by, I don't know, for example, a Sorcerous Blaster hits a model and sends it flying into the Witch King, he will lose basically 50 points for one spell because the Fellbeast automatically flies away, which is not ideal. But yeah, is what it is. Especially when Wargs stick around. Like, you'd think a Fellbeast would be kind of cool. How cool would it be if you could just, if the Fellbeast didn't run away? You roll a courage check and all that stuff, and then the Fellbeast could stick around, and suddenly you've just got a flying like monster just floating around. That would be awesome because, well, yeah, it'd be cool. Very cool. So yeah, S tier. You can give him Morgul Blade to give him that sweet once per game, like instant death if he gets a wound through with it, which is very good for taking on things like eagles, trolls, anything like that, or the odd hero if you get really lucky. So yeah, I mean, I've used the Morgul Blade before to like half wound, get rid of half the wounds off a Balrog, so it can be useful. Yeah, you kind of got to play around with it. Now, next one, we've got Mr. Barry Barrowhite. Now, my first thought is to put him up with the Witch King, but I'm going to put him in A tier. And the reason for that is because the Witch King is in S tier because he can do a lot of things, and he can be offensive, and he has might. Yeah, that's it. That's the big one. A tier for the Barrowhite. He has got Paralyze. 5 will. Paralyze goes off on a 4+. So reliably, you're kind of getting 2 Paralyzes off, I would say. Maybe 2, 3. I'd say reliably 2. You can get 3 off, obviously. It depends how hot your dice are, okay? Depends how vital the Paralyze is to how many dice you throw at it. I usually throw 2 to give myself a really good chance to get it off because I usually wait for the right moment to Paralyze something. But yeah, and they're relatively cheap as well. They're like 50 points, so you can't go wrong. But they have no might at all to bring along to the party. Offensive power, they're okay. Blades of the Dead, high defense, but they will get targeted down quite quickly. And if the opponent has Sap Will, suddenly you have a relatively useless model. Okay, because you just set the will, no Paralyze for you. Unlucky. And the Paralyze range is quite short. So yeah, but of course, if you do get the Paralyze off, you can absolutely ruin someone's day. If you paralyze something like a Balrog again, that's it. The Balrog's gonna be kind of sat there, especially if you can screen away troops to help him try and roll that 6. But if you can't roll that 6, then yeah, you're just kind of like beating on a Balrog for a bit, or anything that gets paralyzed. It has come in clutch quite a few games for me, especially if it's good versus evil. And they've usually got big powerhouse heroes. Combos well with a Wraith, because of course, if you don't want them to resist it, you can Sap Will them first and then hit them with a Paralyze. Very tasty. Now, moving on, we have got the Warg Chieftain. Okay, the Wild Chieftain is brutal in combat. Okay, can do some serious damage. Strength 5. Let's pop him there for a second. And of course, he's got 9 attacks. Oh my god, he's got 3 attacks. 9 attacks. Come on. Yeah, 3 attacks at strength 5. He's fight 5 as well. Strength 6, not strength 5. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, you can tell how much I use this guy. I don't really use the Wild Chieftain. The model I have is a stand-in for the White Wild for Azog, so there you go. But no, pretty solid. It's got Heroic March and Heroic Strength. Don't get too excited then. You haven't got an 80-point Heroic March with a Beat Stick, because only friendly Warg models can benefit from the Wild Chieftain's Standfast and Heroic actions. So if you bring in a ton of Wargs, then go for it. On top of that, he's got 2 Might, 2 Will, and 1 Fate. So he can take a punch. Yeah, 3 wounds. Yeah, 1 Fate. He's solid. Defense 5. He's alright. He can take a few punches. Plus the model looks amazing. It's a very cool model. Well done, Games Workshop. Yeah, we're gonna... or do we put him in C tier? I'm gonna put him in C tier. Let's put him in C tier. Okay, that's just because I don't really use him. He's not D tier. He has got uses. But yeah. Now, let's move on. We have got a Wraith. So, to start off with, we'll just pop him there. So, this is, of course, the Tainted. 120 points, like all Wraiths, well, all named Wraiths apart from the Witch King. Same stat line pretty much as everyone who is a Wraith. 5/5, Strength 4, Defense 8, 1 attack, 1 wound, Courage 6, 2 Might, 14 Will, 2 Fate. Okay? And he's got Heroic Channeling. You can obviously give a Fell Beast for 50 points, or just a Horsey. Okay? Yeah. The special thing about this Wraith is it's got Miasmic Presence, which basically at the start of the move phase, but before heroic actions are declared, you can spend a point of his will. If you do it until the end of the turn, all warrior models within 6 inches of the Tainted may not benefit from the stand fast rule, nor take part in heroic actions. Now that is very tasty, but just bear in mind it also counts for your own models. It's just all warrior models. Okay, but that's fine. Okay, if you use it at the right time, and you can choose when to use it. It's not always on. Okay, yeah, it can actually ruin someone's day if you've got a really good priority, and they call a hero. You think they're going to call a heroic? You just pop this on. Suddenly, none of their warriors can like countercharge your Fell Beast or anything like that, or your casters, or your Barrow Wight to tag them into combat and stop them from casting spells. It's really good. If you've broken the enemy and you're playing against an army that either has normal courage or low courage, basically isn't fearless, you can pop this on and just stop them from benefiting from standfasts, which could be devastating because you've got minus courage auras pretty much everywhere, especially near him, within 6 inches of him. They're going to be -1 courage no matter who they are, which is very nice. The other special rule they have, it has, is a very kind of like, I mean, really hasn't come up trumps for me, but basically at the start of the fight phase, you roll a d6 for each non-spirit model, friendly or enemy, that is base contact with a Tainted. If it's a cavalry model, you can do both mount and rider. On a roll of 6, they suffer a wound. It's cool. If it comes up, awesome. If it doesn't, doesn't matter. And has all the spells that a Wraith would have: Drain, Courage, Transfix, Compel, Black Dart, Instill Fear, and Sap Will. Now, I personally love this Wraith. I like running Angmar quite magic heavy. I'm going to pop him in... yeah, A tier. Come on, it's Shadow Wraith. It's going to be A tier. It's not quite S tier, but A tier. Very good. Very tasty. Yeah, it's a Ring Wraith. And it's probably the coolest sculpt of Ring Wraith there is. I think, anyway. But I'm biased, because I've always liked this one. Yeah, swiftly moving on. We've got the Angmar Orc Shaman. Okay, here he is. Hello. I'll leave him down here for a sec. 50 points. So, this is a different kind of Shaman than what you're thinking, because the 2 magical powers it has is Instill Fear and Wither. Yeah, okay, cool. I've never used Wither. It can be good. Instill Fear is pretty tasty, but you've got Ring Wraiths for that. Yeah, I'm just going to pop him right here. D tier. I've never brought the Angmar Orc Shaman. Never. The only reason I'd bring a Shaman is for Fury. Doesn't have Fury. Get rid of. Okay? Yeah. You can give him a Warg. And it's got a pretty basic stat line. Fight 3, Strength 3, Defense 5, 1 attack, 2 Wounds, Courage 3, 1 Might, 3 Will, 1 Fate. Yeah, so D tier, I'd never bring him. I'd never suggest to bring him. I'd never put in a list for anyone else to bring. So, yeah, not really worth it in my book. But, yeah, there you go. I mean, Wither's good, but you kind of want to stack it up, I think. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Screw that dude. Okay? Forget him. Doesn't exist. Gone. Get gone. Right. Next, we have the Shade. Ooh. Ooh. Anyone play MESBG, like earlier days? Shade? Terrifying. Okay? Very terrifying. Now, I love the Shade. I think it's awesome. Okay? A tier. For me. But it can be dealt with quite easily, I think, as well. So B tier, maybe? I'll decide in a minute. So it's 100 points, so it's a good investment. Okay? Especially if you think, like, the Ring Wraith is 120 points. And, again, the downside to this hero is it has no might. Okay? It's got 8 will, though. But it's a hero of fortitude, so it can release a decent amount of troops because we've had a minor hero before, and the Barrow White is a hero of fortitude, which is pretty good. But yeah, hero of fortitude. You can bring a sizable warband with this little sausage. Now, it's got Blades of the Dead and Terror, right? This thing does not fight, okay? If it's in combat, something's gone wrong. It's fight 1, strength 1, defense 8, 1 attack, 3 wounds, courage 1, okay? No might, no fate. 8 will. But why you bring this little sausage, or this pair of sausages, is for the chill aura. At the start of the fight phase, before heroic actions are declared, a Shade may expend a will point to activate this ability. Any enemy models within 6 inches of one or more Shades suffer a -1 penalty to its dual roll. It doesn't stack, just in case you're wondering. I can bring 4 of these and make everyone for -4 to their dice rolls. Okay. Oh, it is. You can stack it, just not with the same thing. Because if you've got a 2-handed weapon and you use to 2-hand it, and there's a Shade, you're -2 to your roll. Okay? That is why people bring it. It was a passive ability. I believe it's an active now, so if it gets knocked prone, you can't do it. Yeah, let's go for the upsides first. So the upsides are, I hate elves. Okay? Pretty obvious. Screw elves. Okay, look at us. We're 9 points. We're high fighting everyone. We've got a hand and a half elven made blade. We're better than everybody. No offense to elven players. Pick a better faction. No, I'm joking. Yeah. But yeah, it's so annoying when your opponent's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to roll that 6. Okay. Oh, I win. Oh, I'm going to roll that 6. Oh, I win. I'm going to roll that 6. Oh, I win. Yeah. Yeah. Now imagine I've got my little orc who is, what, 7 points? Yeah, 5 points. 6 points. 7 points with a shield and spear. So, we're going to go for 6 point. Angmar Orc Warrior. Near a Shade in a fight. Rolls a 6 and goes, you can't beat that. To an elf. Okay? And the elf sat there like, well, actually, I'm +1 fight value, so I'm like fight 6 right now. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're -1. My orc beats you. Is a very satisfying feeling. I love it. That alone brings it to S tier in my heart. But it's not S tier. Okay. It's not. I don't think. I really want to put in a... Oh. Anyway, we'll decide in a minute. Because the downsides are, it can be countered. Right? It can be compelled or moved or any spell that makes them move away. So, just gets... Yeah, moves them away. Out of chill range for the combat turn. The other thing is sap will is a thing. So you could just get all your will sapped and suddenly you've got a 100-point model that is fight 1, strength 1, defense 8, attack 1, 3 wounds, courage 1. That is all. Okay? That is all. Okay? 100 points. Gone. On top of that, yeah, you just knock him prone. And they can't use it. And getting people to be knocked prone, especially with wizards flying about, so Gandalf, Saruman, Sorcerer's Blasts, yeah, they're gonzo. Yeah. And then if you've got Galadriel channeling like Banish or something like that, just Gonzo. Yeah, it's just, yeah. It can be horrific. You can lose 100 points in a good chunk of time. But a cool thing with a Shade, right, I like to do is in the same warband, I like to bring a banner with his warband. So not only are my opponents against this warband -1 to their dual roll, but I also get to re-roll my dual roll just to fish for that 6. Okay, it's very nice. One thing I forgot to mention as well with the Barrow White is what I like to do is give his warband a few two-handed axes, just so when something is paralyzed, you can literally two-hand piercing strike and have no downsides and get +1 strength and +1 to wound whilst you're beating that poor little paralyzed Frodo Baggins on the floor. That's a cool thing I like doing. Anyway, that's enough on the Shade. I'm going to put him in A tier. B tier. A tier. A tier. Screw you. A tier. My video. Next, we have big man himself, Gulliver. Okay, so Gulliver is 200 points. Big chunk, okay? I'm going to put him straight in S tier. I love Gulliver, okay? I want a model of Gulliver. I still haven't got one, which is really annoying, but doesn't matter. Okay, so here's a spirit as well, just in case anyone's wondering. I had that a few times when I use my little stand-in old school Bellacore model. He doesn't look like a spirit, he looks like a vampire thing. It's like, no, he's got the keyword. So why is he S tier? Well, he's 200 points of kick ass. Okay, so can fly, which is pretty scary. Fight 7, strength 8, defense 5, which is a bit meh, but it's got an asterisk on attacks and courage, and it's got 4 wounds. The reason it's got an asterisk is because depends how many wounds he has left to how many attacks and how much courage he is, which is disgusting. Okay, so imagine this: 4 attacks, and he's got monstrous charge, and he can fly. So he's diving in with 5 attacks at fight 7, knocking you prone, rolling 10 dice at strength 8 to wound if he wins. Ugh. Gross. I love it. He's also Harbinger of Evil, resistant to magic, so he can shrug off some spells, causes terror because, I mean, like, look at his stat line, I'm scared already, I'm nowhere near him. And on top of that, he's also got might. Woohoo! 3 might. Okay? 3 will, no fate though. Okay, so if he's taking damage at defense 5, he's taking damage. But you got to play cleverly with him. You can't just chuck him straight over the your front line into the middle of the enemy, because he'll get swamped and died. Died. He'd get, yeah. So, yeah. But not only that, there's more. He regains a single wound for each model he slays in combat. Yeah. Renders the only brutal power attack that allows him to regain wounds in this manner and can never be taken beyond 4, which is fair. Yeah. He's just a whole can of kick-ass. Beats you up. Yeah. He is ridiculous. Paired with the Witch King is a very popular list. Him and the Witch King work quite well together. Well, yeah, I mean, he can pair with anyone. Yeah, he's actually terrifying. Oh, do I buy Gulliver? Yes, I'm going to buy Gulliver. Let's do it. That's it, really, for him. S tier. I love him. I think he is the bee's knees. Oh, and if just in case anyone was wondering, the reason why I haven't posted a video, last week, is down to the fact that I currently have 2 big cats and 5 little tiny cats, okay? And they are very noisy. So it's very hard to record, and my recording little studio thing has been taken up by kittens. Because I have my own version of little kittens, mini shadow wraiths that run around, children. So, you know, kind of keep them separated. So they get pestered all the time. So that's why I haven't recorded that much. And hopefully I can soon, because I've had him for like 10 weeks now. That's it. So yeah, Gulliver, S tier. Next, we have another ring wraith. Let's go. S tier. Obviously, Shadow Wraith loves ring wraiths. Calm down. A tier. Ooh. Calm down. B tier. Ooh. C tier. I don't know. Anyway. Let me tell his stats, and then we'll really decide where he's going. So, Dwemer Lake, 120 points. Same old stuff as everyone else can get for as a ring wraith. Has heroic channeling. He's 5'5", strength 4, defense 8, 1 attack, 1 wound, courage 6. But he has no might. That's it. No might. Okay, 16 will, it's not bad. 2 fate, not bad. No might. What's going on? I need might. There's no might in this list. Okay. On top of that, he's also got a two-handed sword. Not a hand and a half, a two-handed sword. So he will always be -1 to his dual rolls. So he can't contribute with might. He can't contribute in combat, really. So what can he do? Well, he's got Sap Fortitude. So every time a hero within 6 of the 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐴 spends a point of might, will, or fate, the 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐴 may elect to spend a point of will. If he does, roll a d6. On a 4+, the enemy hero must spend an additional point of might. Well, an additional point of the same type, you know? So if you need to spend a point of will to resist a spell, you can do this, and then if you get 4+, they have to spend an additional point of will for that. Okay. If they decide not to, though, the deed will be cancelled, and any might, will, or fate already committed will be lost. Note that a hero model may wish to expend multiple points of might, will, or fate. Okay, they may wait to see how the 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐴's roll affects the first point, might, will, or fate, before committing to spending any more. The 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐴 will have to spend a point of will for every point he wishes to affect, though he may wait to see if the first point of will affects his opponent before deciding to spend another point. So basically you can have this like, cool, I'm going to call her in March. Sound, I'm going to use Sap Fortitude. And he sits there and looks at you, and then you look at him, or her, okay, roll the dice, 4+, and you go, I'm going to use another point of might. And you're going to go, I'm going to use another point of will. Roll, and then if it's a 4+, yeah, so on and so forth. So yeah, that sounds quite good, doesn't it? Okay, but don't forget, it's a 6-inch aura, so you have to be quite close. On top of that, he's 120 points. On top of that, he can't really fight because he's -1 to dual rolls all the time with 1 attack. I mean, yeah, if you give him a Fell Beast, you've suddenly spent, 170 points on him to make him a bit more potent in combat. But he also has no might at all. No might. So, yeah, there you go. He's going to stay in C tier. My God. Leave my models alone, cats. There we go. Now, moving on. We have got the Angmar Orc Captain. Angmar Orc Captain. Bosh, straight into A tier. I love the Captain. Okay, do you know why? Because there's not much might in this list. And for 40 points, for 2 points of might, I'll take it. I'm desperate at this point. I'll take any points of might. Whatever you want. Anything you desire. And plus, he's not that bad, okay? My Angmar Orc Captain does a pretty decent amount of killing. Because he's 5'4", strength 4, defense 5, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, courage 3, 2 might, 1 will, 1 fate. Okay? He comes with armor, sword, or a pick. Give him a pick. Okay? Comes with heroic march, because he's captain. We want those orcs marching fast. We want 𝐸𝐿𝐴 getting right in the face, whatever you want, magic users, all that stuff. Okay? On top of that, you can give him a warg, an orc bow, or a shield. Warg for 10, the other 2 for 5. You can give him a shield if you want, depends. But I like to give him a warg. Do you know why? Because suddenly he becomes a bit of a killing machine. Because you charge someone, suddenly you've got 3 attacks. You can piercing strike. Suddenly, you're now strength of 5. Okay? They're on the ground, they're crying because they had -1 to their dual roll or something like that, or they got paralysed or whatever. Okay? And suddenly, you're now rolling 6 strength 5 attacks onto this poor little sausage head. Yeah, take that. Okay, strength 5 is tasty. Right? Leave me alone. I get excited. So, that is it. I mean, the Orc Captain's an Orc Captain. I don't know what to tell you. He's sick. Love him. Got him. I want him. I want more. Give me more. Anyway, now we got Burda. Troll Chieftain for 110 points. Right, Burda is okay. I don't really use him. I've got him. I don't really use him. I'm not going to lie. I've seen him in lists. I've seen him at Articon, stuff like that. So, he is popular. Enough. 110 points for basically a troll hero, which is actually quite scary. Okay, but he's not a mega troll or anything. You know, movement 6, fight 6, not bad. Strength 6, not bad. But he is shoot value 4+. Okay, and he can throw stones at range 12 inches, strength 8. That is good. That is cool. But it doesn't mean he can't move. So it's up to you. Defense 6, that's okay. 3 attacks, 3 wounds, courage 4. Not bad. 3 might, 1 will, 1 fate. I'll take it. You know, you've got a kind of slightly weaker troll that costs slightly more than a troll, but you've got 3 points of might, 1 point of will, 1 point of fate. It's pretty good. But he does have heroic strike. Ew, scary. Heroic strength, just in case strength 6 isn't enough for you. And he does have a pick, so you can pierce his strike and make him strength 7. And then he's got heroic challenge, which is obviously the most overpowered heroic ability anyone can do. I'm joking. I've never used it. Well, I have, but no, disregard it. Okay. He causes terror, and his special rule is lead by example. In a turn in which 𝐸 slays an enemy hero, monster, or hero or monster. In combat, all friendly Angmar orc models and troll models within 6 inches of him count as being in range of a banner. It's a 6-inch banner for a turn. That's alright, you know. Paralyze a dude, stick 𝐸 on him, crump him, proper good, and suddenly a 6-inch banner for a bit. Okay. But I wouldn't bring him for that ability. I'd bring him because he's a troll with might. So I'm going to pop him in B tier for me. There we go. That is my kind of like idea of what I would prioritize bringing in a list. It depends how many points you're doing. And of course, this all fluctuates depending on how many points. If you're doing 800 points, then you can spend how many points you want on stuff. But like a standard 650 to 700 point game, I'm probably looking at Witch King, Barrow White, and then it's your choice between a Shade or Big Lad here. You know, it's up to you, or a Captain. So yeah, that's pretty much. I'd take one of these, and then these are like optional choices depending on how many points you get. And then if you get really bored, you can start bringing stuff like this. Or if you want to be really wacky, you bring a Shaman, a Wild Chieftain, and a Dwemer Lake, and that's your army's leadership. It's up to you. But that's Angmar for you. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you have had some amazing things happen to maybe the Shaman, where he absolutely shanked Gandalf in the face, or something like that. I know the Wild Chieftain can do some damage, but just for this list, he's not really a top priority for me, you know. But yeah, that is everything. Do like the video if you do like these kind of like tier list videos. And if you're feeling especially saintly today, do consider subscribing. But even if you don't do either of those things, I still hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy, and silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It's